2, 3, 4,
5.
6. Would anyone like some tea? The reason I asked is because today for this speech, I will be talking about the Japanese tea ceremony. And this tea ceremony actually came and originated from China and came to Japan through sea. Okay, starting out in the Nara period, the this is when the first tea leaves actually came from China to Japan, and was mainly practiced by priests and noblemen, and it's been, and from then has since been a very formal event and a very solemn event. Over the years, though, it has gotten to be religious, being influenced by Zen Buddhism in the Meiji era, where the Japanese tea ceremony is now about purity, loneliness, respect, and wellness. Okay. Now, the aspect of loneliness is not really to be lonely. It is actually to be about oneness with nature. And the purity is actually just for the same sake, to purify the body and purify the mind. That's what the tea is for. And the whole thing about respect, because the tea ceremony is only happens when you invite somebody over, and out of respect, you will serve. The host will do everything. You will serve them tea, and you will serve the guests the tea, everything. The guests, they're actually there are about 5 or 6 people in the team, and the guests are actually divided into sub guests, and then there's the one main guest. The main guest is treated with much courtesy because that is the person you are trying to respect the most. So from him comes the direction of tea will be served. The main guest will always be served first. Now, usually it is made with powdered green tea, also known as mucha, and it's unfortunately I don't have powdered green tea, so instead I am using these green tea packets. Okay, and they will serve the tea. Basically, what will happen is my main guest, who will be prepared directly over here, I will go over him. I will actually serve the tea for him. And then from then I will serve everybody else after him. There is nothing added to the green tea, therefore the flavor is usually bitter and or very dull. That is why the candy is right there to counteract that flavor of the bitter and dull taste of green tea. However, the green tea is also used for that one part of purity. The green tea does purify the body, has a lot of health to it, has a lot of antioxidants for you to use. And from there, that's that is actually the second part of the green tea ceremony. Before that comes the changing of the scroll, which I do not have. But basically what happens is the beginning starts out in a darkened room, much darker than this, much dimmer. And there will be a scroll there, and you just change it out. Goes on to this part, where usually it is held in the inner garden, and not inside a house, but in the inner garden, and then from there you start brightening up the room, showing this change from a very darker place to a lighter place, showing this change from a dark side of you to a more spiritual and free part of you. And when when it's all finished, it will end in silence, just as it began in silence, basically. And that is most of the Japanese tea ceremony itself. Any questions?
Do they pray during the ceremony? Is that for prayer?
No, the tea ceremony is originated by influenced by Zen Buddhism, so it's not prayer; it's more meditation. As much. Any other questions?
How do they how do they symbolize the purity?
Through the green tea. The green tea is it's very nutritious and value. It has a lot of antioxidants. On top of that, it also tends to purify the body, and by purify the body, I mean it literally pushes everything that's inside of you that's not agreeing with you, that's bad for you, just boosts up everything, like your immune system, and that's why it's there for purity.
And how long has this tradition been going on?
It's actually been going on. It's still going on now. It started about in 600 in China in 600. So it's very, very old. A good 1400 years old.
And what do they talk about? Like, is it just quiet at the table,
It
or?
is all quiet. There's basically no talking. The only thing you have is meditation. That's what the tea ceremony is about. It is very solemn. It is very, very formal.
And what do they usually serve it in? Is it like any kind of cup
It's
or?
basically teacups. The ones I would assume Japanese food are basically smaller cups. They don't have handles. They're just small cups like that without the handles, and you drink like that. And they usually have a tea kettle or something to pour it through. And they have a lot more utensils. Okay, thank you for listening to my presentation.